This Metaverse production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is the oldest and most exclusive and transparent no development collaborative in the Upland Metaverse. Contact Watches of N68 for more information. Warning! This podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved. It does not include investment advice of any kind and you are responsible for undertaking your own financial, including tax liability research relevant to your own individual circumstances.
Taking over the Upland. Upland Development United. Total meta domination.
G'day and welcome to UDU Podcast U2 number 69. Woo woo! I'm Ben68. We are recording, pardon me, on Tuesday the 27th or Wednesday the 28th, depending on where you are in the world. And wow, today's going to be jam-packed. We've got all the usual segments you know and love and probably some that you hate and a bunch of the new ones in the Breaking Badly news block to warm us up. And then we're going to dive into some Upland Development United updates, including a How to UDU segment on drama management. Yes, that's right. We've never been shy about airing out our dirty laundry, and today will be no different. Of course, we'll have the win and the wine of the week. Then we'll get into the Upland Mash with some do's and don'ts for making offers in the How to Upland segment. We'll also be running a Metaverse Spotlight on the release of Samurai Aquatics and Decor pricing. And that's all before we give away a bunch of UpX for the weekly challenge, bonus challenge, and of course, roll the 1 million UpX wheels. Speaking of those, we've got some big news about that to drop towards the end of the show. If you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, I'm wondering how you yourself can get involved live with your very super duper biased opinions and your own chance at the 1 million UpX wheels. We drop the link to the Zoom within the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment server each and every Tuesday at about 6:15 p.m. UTC time. Link is in the description. Okay, time for me to take a breath as I pass the show over to the one and only More Cheese. How you doing this morning, Cheese? And who have we got in with us live today?
I'm doing great, of course. This is the highlight of my week, especially. Also the wine and cheese. But I love coming here with you guys and chilling out. But we got the Metaverser, who I salsa'd in Vegas with. We have Pod, Slav, Upland Puppet, Zoe, my girl, Uplando, my boy, Eric, the Koopa Girl, Umbrella Boy, the Finn, and Dak.
It's all happening.
Huh?
It's all happening.
It's all happening. I thought you said what's happening.
What's happening here?
You okay?
What's been happening in the old Uplands? Plenty by the sounds of it.
I got so much to say. Uplando, take it away. I made it rhyme.
I like that, how that works. She got so much to say. She writes me a little cue card note. That's how this works. It was an Almost Famous reference, I think. But it's all happening. It's all happening. It's all happening.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, look, there's so much. I don't know if I can pack it all in a short period of time, but I'm going to try and take up all the oxygen in the room and talk like a Micro Machines commercial. We had maintenance in the AM, which I don't know what that ushered in, but that was about 3 a.m. in the PT for us. It was only about 20 minutes for the maintenance, so I don't think anybody noticed that when there was no lag or anything coming out of the game. So that was a very interesting one. There are things going on in Upland. Partnership opportunities have been touted for a long time. We've seen FC Porto come into that maintenance. There is also the dance school that we've seen, and we're looking right now at this, what is otherwise going to be the first layer 2 game in Upland, and it's pretty exciting to see that happen. Interesting to see as it's going to be ushered in rather quickly. It seems like, if you haven't checked it out, it's the World of Football. They introduced it. It's in a video over in their official Discord, Upland Discord and announcements. And basically it's soccer with little pucks. So you're going to be able to choose your team and your teammates. There's going to be staking. There's going to be UPX to win. Later on, you're going to be able to have a stadium and you'll be able to earn off of this. There's going to be rewards and there's going to be what looks like otherwise a stadium ornament or structure ornaments. And then you'll be able to earn other types of attributes on these pucks or players, as it were. Now, I don't know how this is going to work in with the FC Portal Legits, if it's going to at all, but this is a new mini game and it looks pretty polished. So very exciting. They are wanting to get you over to that Reddit, the Upland Reddit, and tell them which city or node, as it were, that you would like to see. I caught that X1 did say node. So again, tip of the hat to Ben68. Some terminology there, sliding it in. The other part of this that we have going on, Upland Fire Drill, Stress Test Part 3. Interesting. It's only about 15 minutes, I think it is, they give you to do this. There was prizes, 50,000 UPX and other block explorers that you could, I'm sorry, properties you could get, ultra rares in Fresno. These are fire departments over there. So interesting, if you won, you could enter this back to back on these. So you could win up to 150,000 UPX. The World Tourism is in play. And of course, that means banking of sends, which I love the most, instead of going for these block explorers, which I could get on the secondary market in a block explorer shop. I'm sure I could find one. Then I go ahead and just bank the sends. What does that mean? I go to the tour in Upland, 3 dots at the bottom. You go to treasures, you click on the corresponding city. There it takes 2,000 UPX. You get registered, but it gives you 10 cents. There are 10 tours. So you're going to bank 100 cents. This is going to put me at about 195 cents total. I think it's the most ever been banked in the game. I want to be in the Upland Book of World Records for this. Moving on, there was a hidden announcement. It was a blurred image last night at about, I would say, 8 o'clock PT. X1 had been dropping in. Of course, that was the World of Upland. That was the game that he was hinting to. There is on the ClickUp, which is a link for forums to apply for MetaVentures, that Porto or otherwise the football legit shop. If you haven't got over there, I suggest you do it. It hadn't, I think it's been announced the 21st, but it was not, out there for a lot of time. So, if you're going to want to do a MetaVentures, you're going to want to open a shop for FC Porto and get into soccer, get into football with this game coming might be the way to do it. Of course, an interesting move. We have Dallas and Arlington that are coming in for cities that are opening. They do have an Upland presence at the Texas State Fair. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's very interesting. This is an official booth or presence that they're going to have there. I don't know exactly what you're going to be doing at the fair, what they've got in store, but I do think TML, Thank Me Laters, has something to do with this. More information as that unwinds. Of course, NFLPA Week 3 matchups that are going on. We had an upset in Kansas City. Oh, that one was hurtful, but we'll keep on going as we go. And lastly, as we start to get in to close out this September, October is going to usher in what we would like to see as potentially a Spirit Legit Series 2. I don't know. We haven't seen any information on that. We don't know when we're going to be able to use our structure ornaments to adorn our properties that have structures on in Upland, but we do have high hopes for that and maybe even a tour that squeezes in there. The last thing, block explorers. There was an announcement that the Ether Bridge is going to happen. You're going to be able to take the first ever digital assets in Upland, which are going to be block explorers, and have those open on OpenSea for actual sale, trade, other, that you can put those on that platform. And it'll be interesting to see how that works, what will come of that, how this will evolve the game or put a spotlight on it, or could it be something that's not so positive? Could it be a negative reaction or something that has come from that? So that's everything from Upland. Back over to you.
Well, just on that last point, there's been a lot of questions raised about if we can suddenly sell our assets on OpenSea, well, what happens to the 5% kickback to the community pool?
Yeah, it's a good point. And I don't know if you're not going to already have to have some kind of fee to get it out of Upland. So maybe you're going to have to pay that 5%. Here's something else that I want you all to think about. And that is when you're talking about these digital assets and NFTs in general, when they have certain settings on these, be it mutable to non-mutable attributes. Remember, the block explorers are going to drive the MV motors. So when you do export this into OpenSea, once you have that happen, you may not have those attributes that your block explorer otherwise collects, as it is the driver for MV motors going through the driving academy and having all those, handling increase, speed increase, braking, whatever it's going to be for your driver. Those attributes, I don't know if they'll carry out into that OpenSea chain. We don't know how that's going to work. Maybe it does. And then they say, hey, this, that's how you advertise it. Hey, this has got attributes. If you take it into Upland, it's suited for MV motors. This is a great driver. That's going to be sort of the marketing for the block explorers. So it'll be interesting to see how this evolves.
Interesting. And if somebody did want a good deal on a block explorer, where should they probably go?
I'll tell you where. You could head over to Uplando's Block Explorer shop over in Fresno, California. All you got to do is in the search, type in H&M El Camino. That'll take you to the front of the shop. It is a H&M store, but we like to think of it as refurbished into the Uplando's Block Explorer shop. But that's how you can find it. DM me in Discord if you like. I'll help you price it.
Very good. Thank you for that. Now, speaking of prices and deals, we'll bring up the markets. And wow, this is about as flat as I've seen crypto for a very long time. So I'm assuming you've got that up.
Yes.
I checked it 3 times. The global crypto market cap is exactly the same as it was last week, 930 million, 0% change. Bitcoin dominance, 39.2%, 0% change. I was like, really? So I went over and did some clickety-clicketing, and I just thought I'll just go and check out the old market cap journey that we've been on. So I think Cheese and we both started the same time around, do you know when in 2017 you started, Cheese? I was about
It was
September,
when
I think.
it was exactly when Robinhood opened up the beta for investing in that. And I was the only one to be able to invest in it for a long time. Me and my friends over at Water Free, but it was like maybe a little over 1,000. So maybe it was like after it came out and then dipped a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I know when I started was around, this kind of area where the market cap was like 160, 180 million. And then we had that big massive pump, and then it kind of flatlined for a while, and then it kind of really rocketed up and down. But interesting, if you just look at the 1 year, she's pretty, like, we went up to nearly 3 trillion at one point. And then, the last, the last several months, she's just been pretty flat, just hovering up and down above that 1 trillion mark. Now, when I see, not that I do much market analysis and I'm definitely not a financial advisor, but when I see anything kind of very kind of flat and stable like that in crypto, that just gets me thinking she's either going to rocket off in one direction or the other. So we shall see. I know a lot of people are speculating that we're just about to take off, like to the moon, up. But I'm kind of hoping with my dollar cost averaging that we go down the other way. So yeah, and in the actual coins, yeah, Bitcoin's pretty much dead flat. $19,024 last week, $19,032 this week. Ethereum, and I actually spelt Ethereum correctly this week. So thank you for this. Thank you for the person on Twitter who reached out and gave me a little smack for that. Yeah, it's pretty flat. Wax the same, flat. Engine. Ripple's continued to have a little bit of a bounce. It was 40 cents last week, up to 44 cents this week. Solana's still hovering around the high $31, $32 range. EOS is down 15%, which is interesting after that hard fork. Was $1.33, down to $1.16. Polygon's flat, Cardano, Tron flat, and not much happening in flow either. So speaking of flat, the Upland markets, the 90-day average transaction volume Was 71.7 million UPEX last week, down 1%, 71.2% this week. So that's flat again. And what I thought was interesting was the 90-day average trading volume. It's also down 1% to now it's under 4,000. But that's after all of these minting challenges / stress test challenges and all that sort of stuff. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Although the 90-day average transaction volume is a longer time frame, so it takes a while for that to kind of all balance out. And just like last week, the actual city markets, well, they're all over the shop. Anything in there you want to tackle, Cheese? We're all over the place.
City markets.
So we got, yeah.
Wow. Well, at least the Bronx is still doing good. That's the only one I look at. Oh, look, Rio's up 10%. I'm all over the place. I'm not very organized like you, Ben. I'm skipping like all the way to the bottom.
That's all good. You know, I mean, it's San Francisco's down on both the USD and UPEX, 8%, 10%. Manhattan's a little bit of a boost on the USD, but down on the UPEX. Chicago's, again, it's had a little bit of a pump on the USD. Floor was $3.50 last week, $3.90 this week, but dead flat, 5,500 on the UPEX. LA's up and down. But yeah, the Bronx is down 12% on the USD, but still holding above, well, at $8 at least.
Yeah. I don't really do FIAT anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't touch it at all because it's just a pain. So
yeah.
But yes, Rio's trying to get off the floor there. It's trying. It's dead flat on the USD at $3 because it can't get any lower, and the UPEX price has gone from 3,500 last week to 3,890. So I don't know. As a general overview, that's flat.
But I don't see, like, in my opinion, this is not going to last very much longer. I think we have until the new year, until we see some, like, this is just speculation on my part, until we see some crazy, like I feel like Upland is going to go crazy with marketing in the new year. And this is not, financial advice or anything, but I feel like these are the last opportunities to get something or do something or just like plan. I feel like we're going to get to a point where we're not going to be able to, have these kind of deals.
Yeah. Well, it's all levels, isn't it? I mean, like we looked at the crypto market cap before, and it's like you get used to being at 200 million market cap, but then it jumps up and now we're used to it 1 trillion, I definitely get the vibe that it's the calm before the storm, whether it's red candles or green candles, and using that analogy for Upland as well, we shall see. All right, now we Upland already gave us a good overview of what's been going on with block explorers and whatnot. I guess we could briefly touch on the AMA that was held yesterday. Now, it's been interesting to see the feedback. That's not an AMA, mate. We've been saying that for a long time. It was more of just a team meeting almost, but yeah, they had a bit of an AMA bit at the end, but I don't know, did you dive into this much? I had one quick listen to it last night when I was doing the dishes, but other than that.
I got in there late, and there were some really good questions that I can't remember because I'm old.
It seemed to be, I don't think there was a lot of new information, was there? There was a lot of rehashing, basically, which is kind of cool, because that's what the roadmap aspect of it is. We do know that they talked about that there's a whole bunch of, there's going to be a lot more cars being minted because, they're going to have lower stats, which means lower spark requirement to mint and that sort of thing.
Well, Edan did say something. Is it Edan or Edan?
I say Edan.
Edan. So he did say something, and I felt like he was looking at me when he said it.
What did he say?
Somebody asked him a question and he said, well, we have to work on utility. Well, he didn't say utility, but I'm putting words in his mouth. It wasn't everything. He said we have to look into giving. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. So somebody asked, when are they coming out with new buildings?
Ah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then he mentioned, well, that he wanted to put it into the people's hands with the blueprint shops, which was a great answer.
Yep.
And then he said, before we come out with new buildings, we want to come out with like uses for them.
Yep.
And that got me excited. I was like, what? And then I was like, yeah, I see you. I see you, Don.
I remember listening to the same part, and I was kind of palming my face a little bit, thinking ahead to, because we'll talk about this later, but I just basically nuked my UPEX account and I'm starting to rebuild that now. I'm saving not for Texas and Arlington. I'm only going to dabble there, but I'm saving for more Halloween building ornaments. I'm hoping that's going to be done again. Now, we do know that they're looking to push all of that off to the community, which is great to hear, but we're almost at October and there's been no word of that. That sort of thing, it should be done in the months prior. I'm a bit worried that we're going to have this last minute scramble again, where they're going to put all this information out and people don't really have enough time to devote a lot of time and effort to these things. And then we'll be buying this stuff, October 30th again.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have to realize that, like at that point they probably had a lot of stuff on their plate and they had to choose, and it probably wasn't like an easy choice for them, and it's still all very new. And I know it's not a great excuse, but it is a good, like it's true. Like, I don't know.
There's just so much talent in the community. Just give the community, if you're going to give the community the keys to do these things, just give it to them a little bit earlier. That's all I'd suggest.
Well, they might do that this time.
Like I said, it's almost October, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, they did a good overview of the factories and the outdoor decor. We'll touch on that a little bit later. 3D item movement. That's cool. You can put multiple items on your properties. If you've seen Abdullah's car lot that he's already started to create, that's quite fascinating to see. Legits, community governance and voting. They kind of glossed over a little bit of stuff. They dived into a lot of the third-party development tools. What else was interest to me?
They did. All right, I'm reading the chat.
Yep.
And Metaverse Buck and is saying that there's gonna, like, they did mention that there's no new plan for Halloween legits and there's no plan to find function or gamification.
Yep.
But they also said that or somebody said in chat that people can find gamification for them.
Yeah, you can make it. Yeah. Well, when they said that, I think they were talking specifically about the spirit legits, like those packs that you could buy. Wouldn't surprise me if that's not a second year deal or whatever, but I would assume we're going to have more of the building ornaments, because otherwise you're going to have a situation where it's just all us players that were here last year that can decorate our buildings for Halloween. That's not going to go down well with the new player base. They're going to have something, surely.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to have other decorations, and the idea is people are already doing and thinking of Halloween and other types of what do they call them? Ornaments, structure ornaments, right? And so I'm sure that that's going to come out. But to your point, Ben, why wait to announce it? But as I mentioned in chat, I am excited about that. Anyone who picked up Spirit Halloween BEs and structure ornaments, when OpenSea opens, I'm selling for 20x.
Nice.
To the moon, you reckon? Oh, well, I didn't sell any of mine, and I've got a bunch. So, Joyce?
I have a bunch too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that there's collector stuff that we won't be expecting later on, and it'll be just nice to hold it. But yeah,
we shall see. Yeah, and of course the big one that one of the big ones was this information about neighborhood ratings. Again, we didn't really get any information other than there's more information coming at some point.
That's another good point for Metaverse, sir.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you. He says, do you think they will wash this year out so that manufacturers have a year to create for next year? I think, yeah, they will rush it back. I agree with you. Like, I feel like, thanks Uplando, thanks Thanks for coming on and giving us all that knowledge. Red robes. I think that they have to have something for this year, but I think next year that will definitely be in the hands of the Metaventures.
Oh, by next year for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. Even us, like as an outdoor decor shop, will be much better prepared next year, we hope. So we'll see. Yeah, just to touch on this neighborhood ratings. Yeah, there wasn't much information there other than stay tuned. Look, we've been talking about neighborhood ratings for, 2 years now or something like that, ever since the UDU kicked off. And since day one, we'll be saying, we don't know how this is going to play out. There's going to be spanners in the work. I'm fully expecting when we do get the information to come, that it does come through, it's going to get us scratching our heads, and, it's going to be, okay, let's see what we can do with this information. I think there will be a lot of these newer node projects that have been able to take advantage of like new player base coming in. They will probably be really well placed to boost their neighborhood rating scores and that thing. So shall be all interesting to see. All right, who we got in and where are we up to? Upland has touched his segment. Now, we're still looking for somebody that can take over a legit segment, and that was one of the challenges. Well, it was the challenge of the week for this week. We'll touch on that later. But yeah, so if you are all about legits or you know somebody who is, hit us up, let us know. And the Upland Puppet are you in at the moment? UP?
I am here, yes.
Hey, so
Hey.
UP, yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so I am going to be covering some node news every week. Right on the nose. Some node news every week. I'm going to be jumping around inside of Upland and just stopping by some areas. If you are in a node or have something, exciting going on, please reach out to me, DM me. I want to get some info out there about what everybody's doing. No in particular node, the more I can cover, the better. So look forward to that, please.
Absolutely. Where are we up to? Dak, there was some very good information about cars and racing in that AMA. Did you have an overview of what's going on there or anything else happening with cars?
No, I think that the information that they provided at the AMA was actually really good news for Upland racing and what's happening in the Upland racing kind of economy. We knew that they were kind of pushing, and now we're hearing Q4 as kind of the target for when they will be able to do player-to-player racing and competitions. I think there's only one model that's missing from being released, because I think there were 7 models total, and I think we have 6 that have been released. And I think it's the Daily Commuter, the 85K car, that hasn't been released yet, which probably also will have the largest number of mints. So I think that they've done a lot of work to move things forward. The other thing that they kind of hinted at, because it was asked as a question, is, and I think it was Elijah that asked, and I told him, stop spilling the tea, was, will players be able to create tracks? And obviously, that was always part of their plan. Jeremy talked about it back in May, and they said, yes, players will be able to create tracks, which is good because, that's one of the things that, that was one of the basis for URL being created and so forth. But I think that that seems to be much further out than the idea of actually being able to race in Upland and so forth. And as we mentioned last week, I think that a lot of players are not waiting on Upland to create functionality anymore. The layer 2 functionality has really kind of opened eyes to a lot of people in terms of what can be done. And so URL, for example, we're not going to wait on Upland to make racing available. I still would love to be able to take advantage of some of that. And one of the statements, or one of the ways things were answered, seemed to give the idea that they will be making, and I've kind of been told this, they will be making functionality available to people who want to create racing type games out of Upland. And so being able to kind of access some of the elements. I do know that at one point I asked, well, would we be able to have access to like the RNG so that we can replicate it and so forth? And well, that's the secret sauce. And obviously no one is ever going to give that, because then you can hack the game and all that.
Yep.
But I think that they do want to make it as accessible as possible without giving away IP and trade secrets.
Interesting. And did you
What
catch a
that
vibe?
means,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, finish that.
oh, no, I was just going to say to end it, what that means is I think that the opportunities for racing through Upland and not in Upland will be much greater than what Upland will have it in and of itself. I think that Upland racing is going to be great for player to player, kind of like maybe racing for pink slips or something like that on a street race kind of thing, right? You know, your illegal drag strips kind of stuff, what I think would be amazing to do inside, and it would be really straightforward, right? But when you start getting into something that is more focused on community racing, where you're starting to involve neighborhoods and different types and kind of creating this whole venue concept and everything else, adding in the layer 2 functionality, I think is going to be critical to any kind of successful community racing endeavor.
Yep, for sure. Did you catch the hoopla vibe that was going on about, I think somewhere in, it might have been in text or in the voice, they mentioned driving, and then there was a bit of speculation, hang on, does this mean we're going to be, you know, that whole question about actively driving versus, you know, set and watch? Did you catch any of that?
So I might have missed it, but one of the things that I remember from very early on that was mentioned was that they were going to do RNG and that they might have the ability for people to kind of do self-driving. I think I mentioned here last week that with this concept of kind of creating this new layer 1, layer 2 kind of blended model, even URL, we're looking at creating kind of unique races where it's not RNG based, but skill based, so that players can have the experience of actually driving them, you know, driving the car in Upland versus just letting the machine kind of run it. I still believe, and this is why it would just be kind of a flavor of options that you would have. And I think it's going to be sort of maybe the same thing with Upland, is that I still believe that Upland's goal is to have an economic model, and a lot of economic speculation and bets have been placed on all of the elements that are necessary for RNG to kind of help and support, you know, what's going on. So I don't think Upland is going to remove RNG from the mix, and that they're just going to move to skill-based, because there's just too many connector points, too many economic drivers connecting to RNG.
Yeah.
But I do see, and I know that I've actually played a variation where I was able to drive the car and I sucked. So, and that was just, you know, one of our beta tests that we were doing. And so it's just, I think that skill-based is possible. It's actually in some ways maybe even easier than RNG, especially in Unity, because there are just so many kits available for something like that. But from, again, going back to community racing and to what Upland is based on, which is economic development kind of concept, right? I just don't see them moving away from RNG anytime soon.
So you're talking about things like having to level up your block explorer, that's going to be the driver to, you know, to boost your stats and all of the training and all of the economics associated with that. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the garage shops, the spark fueling, being able to have your cars racing in certain tracks over and over, so they become kind of your home track, and you have bonuses on that home track, which is something that they talked about very, very early on. And so I don't think that they're going to move away from an initial concept that really drove so much economic opportunity.
Cool. All right. If we want to find out more, where could we go?
Well, there is the Upland Discord server, or you can go to the Upland Racing League Discord server URL, We have people there who are very much focused on racing, many race commissioners, team principals, and folks that are just involved in racing overall.
Awesome. Alrighty, thank you for that, Dak. Now, I believe we have Joe Lives and Rob the agency in for the Drop It Like It's Hot NFT news segment. Are you there, boys?
Yes, sir.
What's going down?
How are you?
Not too bad for a Wednesday morning.
Joe, you around?
He's like,
Chirping.
all the pressure's on you, Rob.
He set you up and he's run away.
Hello.
He was unmuted and then muted himself when he was going to speak. So
He's
Oh,
probably-
that's funny.
There he
Thank
goes.
you for that, Dak. I was like talking right now. Oh, great job, Joe. Okay, great.
I love you guys.
Let me keep myself unmuted here so this will be more successful. Okay, guys, welcome to the second edition of Drop It Like It's Hot.
We have some great new drops this week and a little review of how things went over in the DigiCon.
Yeah, I thought DigiCon was pretty cool. We got to rock around together as avatars.
Yeah, it went pretty well, I'd say. It was pretty creative. Heard a lot of different NFT projects and such.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Rob showed me how to get a giant blunt for my avatar. And then we went over to the gala booth and one of the guys there was like, hey, can you pass me that blunt? And I was like trying to do it. And I'm such a boomer rookie. I couldn't even figure out how, but he wasn't mad.
Yeah, that was pretty funny and awesome. What happened at the gala booth?
Yeah, that interaction totally made it worth it for me. So I met this dude who works for Gala, and he actually lives not too far from me here in LA. And I learned all about their music NFTs and their games, and they're like connected to Snoop Dogg, and they're doing like talent searches all over the US. They're going to be in Chicago soon, like in a couple weeks, looking for unsigned musical talent.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really liked that project. I kind of spent a lot of my time either like fishing or playing golf they had. And I was walking around, signing up for all the giveaways because I'm a cheapskate.
Yeah, I got some of those too. My only regret is not getting in front of the cat sticker booth, because I found out doing my research for these drops that I could have gotten a cool cat sticker if I would have just taken my little screenshot in front of that booth, but too late now.
Yeah, well, they have these bi-monthly or so. So I mean, DigiCon, 12 is pretty much just around the corner. So
Right on. Cool. Okay, so let's get going on the drops. The first drop we're going to talk about is JRG, and it's dropping at 20 UTC, or that's 8 p.m. Pacific on Monday. So this already happened. So, but it's not like a crazy inline one. I think you can still get these. And we looked at this one because it's art and music combined, and we both really like that. So yeah, so it's like the Favela Boys, so they're from Brazil, and they're like a hip hop group. And 20% of their income goes to CUFA, CUFA. It's the Central Única das Favelas. Basically, it's like a nonprofit that helps the underprivileged in the favelas in Brazil.
yeah, what's a favela?
So the favelas are basically probably what we would call like kind of ghetto here, but they're much more beautiful. Like if you look up images, they're like these beautiful rainbow colored. I think a lot of people in Upland have seen them when they did the Rio stuff,
Yeah. So what are these NFTs kind of like? What do they look like?
Okay, so the NFTs, I checked them out. They have like this coin, but then they also have like these images of the kind of rapper dudes. And it's kind of crazy because they clearly like do not give an F about intellectual property. Like they have some of them are use Funko, and then they have Adidas, they have Wax. They totally say JRG Funko, and they have like a bunch of them. So
Are
apparently,
you sure it's not Finco and Abitas?
I'm 100% sure. I'm just looking at it, and it's like their logos, like to the T. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's got this whole thing going.
Well, what about the music, Joe?
All right. So I think it's Christian related. I don't speak Portuguese. I was hoping that Masita or maybe one of these other Brazilian players could like help translate. And it's kind of sad, but it like I was checking out his Twitter and he's like, hey, there's going to be a break because my IT company I was working for took back the laptop that they were letting me use. So this dude is like a true favela boy, like just making it happen.
That sounds cool. I gotta check that out. Oh,
Might be a case of get them while you can.
Yeah. All right, Rob, what's next, bud?
Yeah, we got Taco, which is something that actually Cheese has talked to me about in the past. Pretty much it's a Web3 NFT project on the Wax blockchain that allows you to stake and earn. The project combines a gaming platform, a crypto swap, and a utility app.
Cool. I do have an extractor that TD showed me, and it earns me about 7,000 Shing a week, but I don't really know what Shing does other than allow me to trade for Wax.
yeah, 200K Shing will get you a taco.
Shing.
Mm.
Yeah, but like I usually just trade my Shing for Wax and Alcor.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
Okay. Yeah, so I have some liquidity too. I went on their taco swap thing, and I've provided liquidity in some of those pools.
The salsa
that-
pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have that too.
What's that?
I have that too.
Nice baller.
Is there anything you want to add to Taco, Cheese?
Well, they do have I know our guys Teddy and Colosimo have the bricks with them, so you could do the meal where you can get into those oh the word where you could stake it and you can get like a nice drip of taco and Shing.
Shing.
No, bricks and Shing.
Brick.
Bricks
Yeah,
and
bricks.
Shing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, the next one I guess we'll talk about then is pizza,
Ooh,
and pizza's on Wax and Open Sea as well.
I haven't
Well,
heard of that one.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of pizza, but I do love pizza.
I do love pizza too. What's pizza about?
I guess it seems like they're collectibles that they're working with Taco,
Oh.
and I guess they give some utility.
Oh, the taco does. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go wrong with tacos or pizza. So I would have pizza and taco all day long.
Oh,
It's a
heck
great
yeah.
marriage.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now
So
I'm hungry.
Okay. So the next drop is cat stickers.
Oh, she's so wonderful. I love her.
She's sassy. No, her name's Sass. But so this one's on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific and 18 UTC. Okay, so I reached out to her. I checked out her Discord. She's a South African artist who creates these cat stickers. She was super nice and happy to answer some questions for me. So I'll just kind of go through the questions and her answers. I asked her to tell me more about the custom cat stickers. And basically I was asking her, does it take a really long time to get a custom cat sticker NFT? And her answer was, when I first started, I offer to do customs of people's cats as a way to say thank you for their support of my collection. It's completely free, but as my collection grew, I got more requests. There are currently 20 cats in the list. My favorites are probably the first one I did, Milo, as well as Rusty, Coco, and Phoebe.
Oh, that's really cool. I mean, I know like Straight Up and Banana would absolutely like love this. If you know those players.
Yeah, there's definitely some cat lovers around for sure. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I kind of wish I had a cat so I could get in line. But yeah, okay, so I asked her next, can you tell me a little bit about the drop that's happening on Saturday? And she said, every Catterday, I do a drop at 6 p.m. UTC, which I love puns. So I was like, that's so awesome, Catterday. And then she said, because I do it weekly, I often don't have the cats finished until later in the week. And you've caught me at a time where I haven't even started this week's cat. There are usually 2 drops, one for people in my Discord that have a cat badge. And you get that by having a certain amount. And then the honey cats, which are linked to honey cats or the honeycomb in her Discord, and they only have a few cat stickers. Yeah, so Catterday, totally love it. Catterday here at the park. Yeah, so then 4th
of July.
It's the 4th of meow wow wow. Okay. Okay, so then the 4th question was, what is your process in creating, and do you usually go from pictures, or in what software do you use? And she said, my process starts with coming up with a cat. This can be inspired from real life, inspiration in others' art, or an idea from someone in my Discord. I then sketch them out in my iPad and then trace that within Figma, a vector program that's actually free to use. This gives me clean lines and the ability to scale my artwork to infinite sizes.
Yeah. Well, I never heard of Figma. Any of you checked that out before?
I haven't, but infinite size images sounds amazing. Have you checked it out? Anybody here?
Not I.
Okay. Okay, so next question. How did you get started in art? She put, I always have drawn. All my friends at school have doodles on their notes and books. I loved art classes. And even when I had to stop them, she had to stop them in high school because she couldn't cope with the pressure. She was a ballerina and a perfectionist, so it took too long to complete the art and didn't have any free time after school to finish products. Still found many ways to be arty. She's always had 50 different hobbies going. And right now, drawing has been the one to stick in the busy life. She finds that cat stickers has made her stick to art more than anything else because she knows she has an audience looking forward to the next piece and a whole lot of angry people if she doesn't deliver.
Well, I think this project is pretty cool. I mean, I wonder if she'd do a dog picture, might have to ask her.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So this last one we're going to talk about, or no, not the last one, actually. We got 2 more.
We are running out of time, so
okay, we'll make it quick. All right, Taco Racers drops Friday 9:30, 23 UTC, 11 p.m. PST. I like this project as you can customize a lot of stuff. Racing's pretty much taken over everything. I mean, Upland, in multiple ways. I mean, I like racing, so this is pretty interesting. It's an open world, player-driven economy where you can own, upgrade, buy, and sell NFTs fueled by countless mini-game experiences.
Nice. All you had to do this week was research taco and pizza. You're so lucky.
That's
okay. Okay, last one. I'll do it quick. Stachi Studio. This guy is named Christian Stoichev, and he creates these safe for work, but they're very kind of like abstract-y, and they're slightly erotic, but they're like I said, still very safe and not like you can actually look at them on the screen and not get in trouble with your family or at work.
I can see the beauty in that.
Yeah, they're pretty titillating.
Nice one.
Okay, that'll wrap
Does
up.
he do any male ones or just all females? I always find it a little weird when men do exotic female pictures and not a female doing them, but that's just me.
They do. He does do both. And
Does he?
yeah, he does do both.
Wow, okay, all right.
Yeah, and he kind of like, I know Georgia O'Keeffe did, a ton of flowers, and her thing was all, female anatomy based, but it's like abstract. But yeah, he does do both. Yeah, and I actually found him from just searching through Atomic Hub one day, and I was like, oh my God, that thing looks amazing. What is this project? And I started checking it out, but they were pretty expensive already, like as far as wax goes. So I just grabbed like a couple. Yeah. Okay, but I think that wraps the segment this week. If anyone wants to chime in or anything, I know we're probably out of time. We're gonna send Ben some links to some of the stuff. So hopefully it'll be in the description of the video. If not, feel free to reach out to us on Discord or whatever.
Yeah, fire them off to me and I'll patch them in. Thank you, boys.
Thank you,
Very
guys.
cool.
You
Thanks.
guys are great. When are you guys gonna do your own show? This is awesome. I'd watch it every single episode.
Oh, well, if I can keep off mute for half the time, that might be possible.
That was the beautiful thing about it. I love like
Oh,
little
great.
mess ups.
Okay, cool. I thought you were saying the best part is when I'm quiet.
No, of course not. Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
thanks.
No
Thank you,
worries.
guys.
Thank you. All right, moving on to wine and cheese news. For episode 52, we had a chat with Coop and City Runner, who are two of the founders of the Portage Park Development Project, which, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know, is by far the largest and most successful community development project within the Upland Metaverse to date. The PPDP, as it's called, is always looking for ways to further innovate and elevate community engagements in the space. And Cheese and I get the feeling that after just over a year in their planning, they're only just getting warmed up. So check that out. Now, as part of that episode, we did release a couple of little clips, as we always do, with the spillage at the front. And they were Scroll Out Crypto Fudders, Metaverse University, and Epic Games Goes Web 3. Now, I don't know, you seem to get shielded from all this feedback. I did get some more feedback through the week. Well, it took you bloody long enough to get to the Portage Park bit. I'm like, that's the show. We talk crap at the front, and then we
Who
talk to
said
the people.
that? Was it the same guy? Was it the same doctor?
No, it was a different one, which just makes me funny. So,
Like, if you don't like the show,
I'm like, first time watcher. Thanks for viewing. That's
don't
the whole
freaking
show.
watch it.
It's the whole premise of the show. But
We talk
Anyway.
about metaverse articles. Deal with it.
Deal with it. In Samurai Aquatics and Decor updates, the medium factories in both Oakland and San Francisco have been inaugurated. Special shout out to Mass Chef and the UCC team, who answered a last minute call to help me get that SF factory built lickety split. We're currently waiting for Upland to transfer our manufacturing setup from the old small factory to the medium factory. And we're looking forward to kicking outdoor decor production into high gear because the medium factory holds 10 maximum spark instead of 2. So we also publicly released some basic info about our pricing. More info on that later. Now, the wine of the week, I don't really have a wine. I'll put that out to anybody in chat. Got something to whine about? Which is very strange because that used to be my whole thing, was whining nonstop. Anybody got a wine?
My wine is this storm coming in to, I think, Florida area, and like some of our good friends are in the way of it, and I'm just giving them all my positive thoughts and well wishes, and hope that they're able to get through it without too much kerfuffle.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Now, Options posted a couple of wines in chat. Oh, we've got 700th in line to get a terminal. And UP has said a 2-day wait. Yes, I didn't even bother registering for
Me
those
neither.
myself. Didn't
Me
even bother.
neither.
Mostly because if it was UpX based, I'd register, but with it being USD based, I gotta eat too many fees with that sort of stuff. So I'm playing.
Oh,
that
I
game.
gotta win. I gotta win. So
Oh, yeah, go
yesterday
for it.
was my 7th day to log in.
Yep.
And I always get 0.01, and this time I got 0.02 for the first time.
Oh, nice. All right, and yeah, I had win of the week down as just the roadmap updated AMA. I think
yeah.
that was pretty cool. I mean, they're
That
always
was
pretty glossed over those sort of things. Pretty like I said, there's not a whole lot of AMA aspect to it, but yeah, it's still good to see them get together and get that info out there. All right, we're going to skip over the UDU node stuff for this week, so we don't run out of time. We're going to move over to the How to UDU segment. Now, this one's entitled Drama Management. Now, if you weren't aware, there's quite a big drama has kicked off related to the UDU team this week. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. I'm sure it's all out there and whatnot, but just this is more just of a general overview as how we as a like kind of a node development team, how we've managed to navigate drama all through our history. And my gosh, have we had to wade through a lot of it. So as the team has evolved at this point in time, we really don't need to deal a lot of hands-on kind of drama management, but we do have a system in place to deal with it. So Cheese and I are the sovereigns of the UDU team. So what that means is we're kind of the core leaders. And if there's any sort of kind of minor drama that pops up, then we can, more often than not, we can just kind of sort that out ourselves, between us, or, we'll have conversations with Finsky or some of the other members in the back end, but that's more to do with minor problems. Now, if something is a little bit more serious, or that we think that needs a little bit more attention, then we do have our second layer management in there, which is our sentinels. And those are Finsky, Coop, Steve, and Nubex. We often look to them to kind of deal with those kind of little situations, or if there's a bigger problem, like what happened this week. Now, for this week, this particular problem kind of, by association, impacted on Cheese and myself. So we were kind of a bit too close to it to get involved. So we did kind of pass that over to the Sentinels to navigate as much as possible. And especially Finsky put in just a ton of work to kind of collate all the information, kind of discuss everything with the parties involved, and, eventually work out what the repercussions were going to be. And this, that, and the other thing, we can say that has run its course now, as far as the UDU is concerned, with the member in question having been dropped, having all their server roles dropped. So they're essentially back down to the vetting role, which is the entry level role to the server. And that'll be for an additional 6 months probation. That's all pending the official investigation by Upland, and we'll just follow Finsky's lead there because he is the head of the vetting team. So I don't know, Cheese, is there anything else you wanted to touch on there on how we go about managing drama, aside from just you and I venting at each other in DMs?
Things happen.
Yeah.
People make mistakes. We don't like to just sweep things under the carpet, but at the same time, we don't like to just ignore it and pretend everything is good. I think what we have in place is really, really good. We have a great team of sentinels that we can rely on when stuff like this happens. What we came up with was what we kind of followed our heart with, because anybody who we let into the UDU, we want to be really careful, but at the same time, your family, and we don't want to hurt anybody at the same time. And we love you, like your family, like So you are going to get that chance of redemption and whatnot. And I just hope this, like, works out great, because the person is somebody amazing. And yeah, like
Yeah,
we
and
love him. We love him.
absolutely. Now, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is probably only the third time we've had to use this system. The first time we kind of had to use it, the player in question was kind of not really on board with the whole thing, so that kind of impacted on the ultimate outcome. The second time was a situation where it came to light that one of our members was under 18 years old, and at that time there was no clarification on how strict Upland was going to be with the terms of service. So, we followed this kind of process. That player dropped out, and then kind of I forget, but we definitely got word from Upland that it was kind of a pretty loose terms of service requirement. So then we onboarded that player back in. So yeah, it's a pretty simple system we've got, but it does appear to be effective. So we shall see how we go. And we're kind of lucky now that we have this new vetting system where we didn't, with the role in the server, so we didn't have that previously. So there weren't a lot of options. Like prior to this whole system, we had the dungeon, and people used to get locked up in Cheese's dungeon. So that all got a bit spicy.
Yeah, I miss the dungeon.
Yes. So as far as the UDU is concerned, that kind of has run its course internally for us at this point in time. We're just waiting for more information and seeing how we can assist our valued member. And I think we'll just leave it at that.
Yes, perfect.
The code phrase for this week's 1 million UpX wheels is bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? There you go.
What made you think of that?
Like that whole thing we just talking about being in
Oh,
trouble and drama management.
all
I
right.
thought that was a good segue. Apparently not.
No, it was good. It was good. I'm just slow. Yes.
Right over the
Oh
top.
my God.
Yes. All right, in some more positive news. Well, maybe it's not positive. Maybe it's down in the doldrums again. How to Upland for this week is making offers, do's and don'ts. We're just going to touch on this very briefly. Now, keep in mind, this is coming from my perspective, and I am severely biased, and I have my own opinions about offers. So these are my do's and don'ts. If you're all live in the chat and you have some of your own, please jump in. So for my don'ts, I've got listed as don't make offers that you already know are trash. Just don't even bother wasting your time. You're just getting your name out there in a negative light. Don't spam offers. Like sometimes I'll get an offer and you reject that one, and then suddenly you wake up and you've got 10 more from the same person that are even trashier. So, and the last one I've got here as a don't is don't get your underpants in a twist if and when your offers get rejected. I know some people, especially in the Upland general chat, like say, I've been putting offers in this guy's things for weeks and he just keeps rejecting them. Well, clearly there's something wrong. Anybody else got a don't for putting offers? What grinds your gears, Cheese?
Like you said, those bad offers, or like, I really appreciate if you, like, I'm pretty well known. I hope so. So if you really want to make an offer with me, send me a DM. I have so many people that send me a DM, and I try to make it work. If it's something that you hold dear, I made a few transactions this week just by people sending me a DM and saying, hey, I want to do this offer with you, and we talk it out. It just saves so much time, because seriously, you're going to have to be scrolling through all my properties anyway, which I have a lot. You might as well just send me a DM before you do it.
Yes, and that was a good version. Sorry, I was going to say a good version, a good segue. I'm just replying in chat and I got muddled up. So yes, for the do's, I've put use upxland.me or one of the other data sites to check what a reasonable offer would be. You can do it manually, like search around in the neighborhood and that sort of thing. But yeah, use those data tools. People put a lot of time and effort into those, and They're very, very useful. And like Chi said, I've got one of my biggest do's is try to find and DM the person on Discord and have a conversation. Some people, such as myself, I insta reject any offer that isn't front loaded with a conversation. I don't even look at the details. As soon as I see an offer, I usually, my normal routine when I wake up in the morning, once I've done what I needed to do, is I'll check the Discords and DMs and whatnot. And then once that's all cleared away, I'll go over to Upland. If I go over to Upland and there's offers there, I just reject them flat out. I don't even look, especially at the moment where I'm just getting bombarded with crap offers for legits for outdoor decor items. No, mate, I got zero interest in your whoever the hell it is. I got no idea about legits offer for an outdoor decor piece. As I said, you're just kind of making a negative name for yourself. So that's all I've got to say. Zoe said here in chat, if offering on properties with a structure, at least include the minimum build value. Yeah, that's a good point too. Yep. There's nothing worse than getting a land offer for a property that has a build on it. Yeah, good point, Zoe. Thank you for that. So yes, I'd say the two biggest ones there are, if you know it's a crap offer, don't send it. And yeah, if you can get in contact with a person, try and do so. All right, moving on to the Metaverse Spotlight for this week, we have Samurai Aquatics and Decor pricing. Now, we did put this out through the week. We were going to put a little video together, but I just didn't get around to doing that. Instead, Cheese, DTech, and myself got together to put this table together, and we kind of pushed that out as an announcement within the Samurai Aquatics Discord server. Now, what are we looking at here? We're looking at the first 10 items, the matching outdoor decor items. So the sauna, the pool, the jacuzzi, island grill, patio umbrella, the 2 seatings, the ice bath, the garden swing, and the fountain. They're all part of a matching 10-piece set. The first 10 mint numbers of these items are specialist pricing, very high pricing. We are not expecting that these are going to sell. Definitely not anytime soon. The main point that we want to use some of these for is I'm going to load up the truck. I'm going to load up my semi, and I'm going to take the mint number ones, and I'm going to go and take them on tour. Maybe I'll display them in, I don't know, Portage Park for a month or something like that. So yeah, these will be essentially showroom pieces. Basically, it's probably the easiest way. If they sell, they sell. We're not putting it out there. We're not going to cry if they sell. We're not going to be disappointed, So, but the main thing is that, we're not expecting them to sell. We did say that if you wanted to reserve any of these items, you could go ahead and do that. There's mechanics to do that within the Samurai Aquatics Decor channel. Currently, we have a few of them reserved. I'll touch on that on a different graphic. So yeah, mints number 1 to 10, while technically they are available. I mean, look at the prices, $1 million UPEX for mint number 1s. I mean, sure, if you want to pay that, we'll definitely take your money, but see how we go. But I think it has quite the spectrum. So we go from mint number 1, $1 million UPEX, all the way down to mint number 10's 50,000 UPEX. And mint numbers 11, 12, and 13, they're going to be reserved for Cheese, DTech, and myself. We actually want some of our own items, believe it or not. And then mint numbers 14 plus, they will just be put up for general sale in the showroom. So as soon as they come off the factory line, we'll be putting them in the showroom, and yeah, they'll be up for sale. That's going to be a case of first in, best dressed. I mean, we're not going to hammer the outdoor decor server out. We're not going to hammer that with, at everyone's or anything like that. We will put some kind of sales channel in there, and we will keep that updated. So it's going to be on you if you want to get some of these higher, cheaper mint numbers, where you're going to have to put a little bit of effort in. So yeah, the reason why we've only put prices for those two is because these are the only 2 items that we have been given the Spark hours on. So we can't really price anything else until we get those Spark hours, but it will give you a general idea. So for the mint 14 pluses, for the seating tables, 26,000 UPEX, and for the seating fire pits, 28,000 UPEX. Now, if you want to find out a bit more of why we've priced things like this. At the end of the interview we did with the Portage Park thing, there's a whole, probably the last, 20 minutes, something like that, Cheese and I were kind of deep diving into what that's all about.
Huh.
And yeah, that's right. I'm just rambling. Now I do have a separate graphic to show, which I'm going to push this live. Probably not today because I got to race off to work, but it'll be sometime after that. Pardon me. Is this graphic here? So this is a Google sheet. This will be publicly accessible. That will show you who's reserved what. So at present, the one and only Joe Lives has reserved all of the mint number 9s. So what this means here is Joe has reserved all of the mint number 9, so he's committed to buying all of those. And that means Joe is probably going to be one of the first people that's going to qualify for the free monument number 1. So the first 200 people, because there's only 200 mints of those, the first 200 people that collect a full set of 10, we're hoping to be able to pass off the bonus 11th piece for free. So Joe's reserved mint number 9s and SA has reserved the mint number 10s. We do have backups for both of those. So if it turns out that we say, okay, Joe, show us your money, and Joe says, then we do have a backup in place that's going to gobble those up lickety split. We're not exactly sure yet how we're going to go about this because there's pros and cons. I don't want Joe to send me all of this UpX and then we can only deliver him 2 items at the moment. But then again, I don't want to split up full collections either. So there's a bit of thinking to do yet. So within this graphic, anything that is bold and highlighted, so all of these ones here, right up to the mint number 9s, these are manufactured and ready to be delivered. Like I said, we are waiting to move into the medium factory and then we'll get the mint number 10s and above done. Why haven't we started doing any of these, the saunas and all this, that and the other? Because we're still waiting for Upland to sort out the scaling issue that they found on their end. I did get some news from Jennifer, and geez, I don't think I told you this yet either. It's looking likely that we may get 7 of the 9 pieces ready to go soon.
Soon.
Yeah. Soon means, potentially by next week. So, and keep in mind, we're not even in the medium factory yet. So I don't know. That's pretty good news for me. So yes, I'll keep this updated as things get reserved, paid and delivered. I'll keep this sheet updated. And like I said, the link for this will be in the Samurai Aquatics server. Cheese, is there anything else you wanted to touch on as far as Samurai Aquatics pricing?
Pricing, no.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So yeah, we're still trying to work out the mechanics of all of that. When it's ready, when it's ready, the rest can be paid prior to delivery. Yeah, it's a tricky situation. I mean, I don't know. I think we might make use of the UDU escrow club. So we might ask for the complete funds up front to essentially lock in that you're going to take that whole set, and then we might be able to use those in the escrow club. So it'll be just all those funds will stay in the escrow club. If something was to happen where actually we can no longer deliver those, then it's pretty easy to just pull those funds out and send them back. And obviously, if that were the case, we would eat the fees on our end. Well, we'll see how we go. And Joe said, oh crap, better start banking up. You better start saving. Yes. All right, where are we up to? Oh, this is a good one. Well, I'm going to help you with this, Joe, actually, because competition and prize details for last week's challenge. Last 2 weeks' challenge was to nominate someone who has a legits meta venture or someone you know is mad keen about everything legits and who might be good fit to take over the legits segment in this show. The prize was going to be 20,000 UpX. Now, until just before I checked, Joe was the only name on the wheel, but NFT Architect managed to squeak in there too. So she's a pretty sad looking wheel, this one.
Who's it gonna be?
She's a sad old wheel, this one. So either Joe or NFT is going to win a very easy 20K, and it's NFT Architect. Oh, you just got pinged, Joe. So that's 20,000 UpX on the way for NFT Architect.
Wow.
But I got good news for you, Joe. So don't stress just yet. So there was a bonus challenge that we put into for Samurai Aquatics. The bonus challenge was to keep your eyes out for a video, which we didn't do, or a post, which we did do, about our outdoor decor pricing, and to give us some honest and constructive feedback. And the winner was going to be announced in this week's podcast. Well, let's have a look at this wheel. You're going to love this wheel, Joe. Let's see. Let's see who's going to win this. 10,000 UpX.
I think it's gonna be Joe, but I don't know.
It's only one name on the wheel, Joe. So thank you to Joe and NFT, who took a few seconds out of their lives to win themselves some very easy UpX. Now, I should say that's 30,000 UpX that I need to send out. I do have that balance, but I absolutely bombed my UpX balance back to 1K. So I don't know, with you having to hold, you know how if you want to send UpX, you got to hold it for a certain amount of days. I don't know how that's going to play out. So once we get done with this, I'll try and send it to you. If that doesn't work, I'll just have to write an IOU.
My girl is saying that she thought she was in it.
And which one? The feedback?
Was
Not
it the
that I
feedback,
saw.
Zoe?
Let me pull it up. Hang on. We've got a... So which one are you talking about, Zoe? The feedback for the pricing?
Yeah, I thought I had done that one, but it might have been in the wrong thread. So that's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, it was the only one that I saw was this one here from Joe.
Oh, right. Yeah, it totally was in the wrong thread.
All right. I don't know. Maybe that's on me. I don't know. I did have a quick look through, so apologies if that's the case.
No. That would have been my fault because it goes in a specific thread.
All good. And Umbrella Boy said, I gave feedback in the personal thread in my mind. Does that count?
In my mind. I'm going to send you an NFT, Zoe, because I love you.
That's funny.
All right. Aw.
All right. So that was
In my
30K given
mind.
away very easily.
I'll send you one too, Umbrella.
All right. For this
But
week's...
no more mind entries. Go ahead,
No.
Ben. I'm sorry.
For this week's weekly challenge, I'll make it an easy one this week. All you have to do is drop a comment in the YouTube for this show and let us know what metaverse drama you faced and how you dealt with it. So it's not in the contest channel within the MBU server. We're making this just a YouTube one only. So what metaverse drama have you faced and how you dealt with it? If you haven't faced any drama whatsoever, well, good luck to you. And maybe you can give us something that's in your mind. Prize will be 10,000 UpX. So keep your eyes out for that. Now, I've mentioned there a few times, and I said there was some big news coming up about the 1 million UpX wheels and how I bombed my account. Well, what does all that mean? What's all that about? Cheese is currently holding in her hot little hands in the UDU Escrow Club. What cheese?
2 million UpX.
2 million UpX. So yeah, I have 2 million UpX in escrow with cheese. What that means is that we have 1 million UpX that is definitely in reserve for should this prize go off. It also means now that there's 2 million UpX in there, it means that the 1 million UpX prize will 100% be given away this year. If it doesn't go off beforehand, we will definitely be giving it away on the whatever the Christmas show ends up being. So that's good. Now I got to, the reason I did that is because I didn't want to get into a situation where we give away the 1 million and then we have to go back to the 100,000 UpX wheels because I got no balance there again. So it is there, it is secure, assuming that cheese doesn't press accept and then run off into the horizon.
No
screaming and
regrets.
laughing.
No regrets.
All right, now we don't have the fantastic Jazzy Jazz in today. She's out on a hot date with her man, so we're going to have to do a bit of dictation here, Cheese.
Uh-oh.
Can you see
All right.
who we've
Yes.
got in chat? And I'll patch those in straight away to see who's going to play the 1 million Apex wheels. All right, hit me. I know we got Cheese. Who else have we got?
Boulder,
Boulder, yep.
Koopa Rural,
Coop,
Eric. Oh, Finsky. Sorry, no Eric. That's
Finn,
Coop.
yep.
Option Guru,
Option, yep.
Pod,
Podman, yep.
Rob,
Pod and Rob, yep.
Joe,
Joe,
Buck,
Buck,
Umbrella,
Umbrella, yep.
Puppet,
UP, yep.
Zoe,
Zoe.
and a partridge in a pear tree.
All right, so I haven't missed anybody. I'm not going to get smacked after I
3,
press
4,
roll.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're good.
All right, let's see who's going to play. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, the luck of this man.
Koopa Virl.
Unbelievable. Coop, are you there? Let's see if he's there. Coopy doops, Coopy doops.
Coop, Koopa Virl.
How long are we going to give him, Cheese?
Coop.
He's here. Spin it for someone else.
Really?
You sure? All right.
All right.
All
Wow.
right. Well, I'll leave you in there, and if it comes up again, you have to play.
You
about
think
that?
right, Pod.
Good on you, Coop. Whoa, here we go. The one and only.
Fuck.
Buckman, are you there? Paging Mr. Buck.
Buck, I am. Hello.
Hey.
Is that me?
Yay.
Am I that Buck?
You
You
are
are.
that Buck.
The one and only. Yes.
Thank you, Coop. He's a nice guy. Appreciate it. But
Yeah. The $1 million question. What was the code phrase?
Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do?
yes, bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? It was
If
about
I
your
was in the
drama.
same room as Ben, he would be
Yes.
throwing so much shit at me.
yes.
All right, Cheese, bring him up. Buck, I'm assuming you know how to play.
Buck.
Yes. Okay, here. Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can
Oh,
see if we can get
share.
1 bazillion Apex.
Look at that. I did it
Buck's
fast this
hands.
time. Tell me when. You could look at the wheel and
Yes. Okay. Staring dead center at the wheel. No whammy. Stop
It's not a stop, unfortunately. It's a go.
or go. Go whammy, go.
It always flirts closely. So we got 5,000
Wow.
Apex there. Now, would you like to
All
bank
right.
that Apex, or are you going to spin again?
I'll spin again.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
So that was 5 chances at 25K. This is 3 chances at 50K. When you're ready, Buck.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, if it was a stop,
this.
my gosh, I would be broke as a mofo.
I know. Well,
Well, this
you
will
got
be an
a
easy
zero
decision.
taken away.
So we've gone from
did.
5,000 Apex to 500 Apex. Would you like to bank that Apex or go for the 1 million?
Go for the 1 million.
All righty.
Watch him get it. All right. Concentrate. Tell me when.
Go.
Nice. Yeah, well, the pressure's definitely off. We've definitely got it there to give away. So let's see if we can give it away. And then Buck can ruin everybody's Christmas. Oh, spin again, is it?
Oh, 250.
That was a wah, wah, wah.
That was a wah, wah, wah.
250 Apex on the way. Thank you for playing the 1 million Apex wheels, Buck.
Yay, thank you. That was fun.
That was fun, right? It's exciting.
Thank you, Coop, for giving somebody else a chance. Now, I don't know
Yes,
how
thank
we're
you,
gonna.
Coop.
I don't know how we're going to set that up so we can guarantee that everyone gets a chance at the 1 million if it does last until Christmas. But if you have any ideas for how we can set that up, send me a DM, let me know, and we'll work something out. All right, we're finishing up. Yep.
I think everybody who comes into that show should, like, we just put all their names and whoever it lands on gets that $1 million.
Yeah, but it's all done in like 2 seconds. Then we gotta build up some excitement.
Well, we'll have other prizes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exciting to know you might get $1 million.
I don't know. If you have, like I said, if you have any ideas, or keep rolling it as long as it hits. Finsky said, we might be here to the next Christmas. Yes. All right, but yeah, if you have any ideas how we can set all that up, or if you have some prizes you'd like to start working towards us giving away for that Christmas show, unlike some other projects, Upland, we like to plan well ahead in advance and get ready for these things. So, Jesus, give me the evil eyes. All right, I better wrap up before I get in a lot of trouble. So a reminder that to go into the running for the 1 million UpX wheels, you should be in the Zoom at the start of the show for the snapshot. You need to be paying attention in the middle of the show to catch a code word or phrase. And of course, you need to be here at the end when the wheels start rolling. If you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, opportunities are always available for sponsorship and engagement in the UDU podcast. Contact myself or Cheese to discuss and secure your spot. All proceeds will go towards giveaways and prizes on the podcast. And yes, we are still spamming that Samurai Aquatics ad. We're hoping once we get the production of some of those other items that are on the way, hopefully next week, we have a new kind of very tongue-in-cheek, cringe-worthy ad to start patching out as well. So
it's amazing, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
I don't know. I think we've talked it up too much now. Everyone's.
I don't know. I can't stop watching it. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, I watch it, and I'm good.
All right. So there you go. Keep your eyes peeled for that one. So like and subscribe, rate and review, spruik and spam, all of that cool stuff. Get us out of here, Cheese. Look at that. We're right on time.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.